What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Randy with RTS Mobile Gaming, bring you another fantastic War Nova video for you today. I've got about 10 minutes before I have to go into the office. We're going to try and keep this video super short and sweet. I want to talk to you today about my favorite ship in the game, the Corruptor. The Corruptor is an absolute monster. It is able to dominate the current PvP meta, which is the Moonveal. The Moonveal is a crazy powerful ship, and here in this report you can see my level 41 Corruptor massacred this level 48 Moonveal that's respect mastery level 7 or so with pretty decent gear. Okay, we're able to dominate this enemy Moonveal, and this isn't the only report, right? I've been wiping out the Moonveal for days, but the Corruptor is also very versatile, and it can dominate other ships such as the Paladin or the Radiant, the Astaroth. It really has a wide range of power, and let's talk about why. Also, I'd like to apologize real quick. I have not made a video in a few days. That's because I was traveling to visit family. Now I'm back in town, so I'm going to try and provide this fantastic video for you today. Let's start by looking at the Corruptor's skills and officer setup, and then we'll talk about how to optimize, and we'll try again to keep this video under 5 minutes or so. Okay, here we go. The tech tree is really important, but the nice thing to know about this is that at mastery level 0, you unlock the tier 1 ability called Chaos Agent. You don't have to have any mastery. All you have to do is have summoned the ship one time or collected enough mastery schematics to power it up to respect mastery level 0 and unlock it. At mastery level 0, the tier 1 ability Chaos Agent will confuse the enemy commander ship in rounds 3, 6, and 9. This is a really big deal. A lot of big ship damage nukers do crazy damage in rounds 3, 6, and 9. You can also play around with the initiative on your Corruptor. If your Corruptor has lower initiative than the enemy, you will actually activate Chaos Agent later in round 3 after the enemy ship has done its abilities, and you will cause it to use its round 4 nukes on its own units. What does that mean when you confuse the enemy capital ship, right? The enemy capital ship commander. I'm just throwing buzzwords together. When you confuse it, it's going to auto attack with a standard attack on its own units. It will also cast skills against its own units that are damage dealing. I haven't seen it be able to steal a healing skill yet, but it's possible you're able to steal a healing skill. But for sure, you will be able to cause it to do self-damage, which is really great. So having 1 point in Chaos Agent will unlock that for you. Then you're going to put 1 point in Shocker. This is a skill that only needs 1 point. It is going to give you a chance to do stun every round. It is not a bad idea if you have high mastery level to maybe put a few more points in here because you get some damage bonus, but I feel like your points can be better used in the mastery bottom tier 1 tree and the tier 2 ability tree, okay? The bottom tier 1 tree is also really decent. It is going to give you high damage bonus for the first couple rounds of the fight, and it's going to give you a defense bonus for the duration of the fight. Currently, it is not scaling with leadership as it says. It's a little bit bugged, but once the devs fix that, this is going to be a really great skill for survivability. From there, we're going to go to the Mastery 3 tree. My favorite skill on the Corruptor is the Tier 2 ability called Reinforce. This is going to give you a massive healing nuke. This can do anywhere from 15 to 1,000 healing per strike ship type in your army. So if you have 3 strike ships that all have at least 20,000 damage taken, you can heal them all for 15 to 20,000 damage apiece, giving you anywhere from 45 to 60,000 healing in a fight if you're efficient. Sometimes not all your ships have taken that much damage, so it doesn't always work out that way, but this will give you a massive healing nuke at the start of round 4. In addition, this is going to cause both your units and the enemy units to not be able to heal for the rest of the fight. That's incredibly important. Being able to block enemy heals for the entire fight, starting around 4, makes this a disgustingly powerful anti-heal ship. Yes, the enemy ship, such as Moonveal, will be able to heal in rounds 2 and 3, because Moonveal has rounds 2 and 3 heal nukes, but Moonveal can heal in every round. So if you're able to block 6 out of the 10 rounds, that's a big deal. Okay, and actually, I guess it's technically 7 out of the 10 rounds, because round 4 through 10. So if you're able to block 70% of the healing potential in these fights, you can really get a big advantage and dominate the enemy. Those are the skills. If you do have Mastery level 5, you can unlock Shock and Awe, which is actually a crazy powerful ability. I will say that if you're running Shock and Awe, you don't need Chaos Agent, because Chaos Agent's going to be confusion. You are going to confuse the enemy and cause it to do self-damage. Shock and Awe is going to physically stun the enemy in rounds 3, 6, and 9, so you're just stopping everything. Personally, I do prefer Chaos Agent, so even if you have Mastery 5, I don't know if I'd go into it. It might be worth putting 1 point in here just to get the confusion here from targeting glitch, allowing you to confuse enemy strike ships, which is different than the capital ship commander. But this isn't a bad thing to do. If you are Mastery 5, you can go ahead and put 1 point here, 1 point here, and hopefully that you don't stun the enemy ship while it's confused. You want it to do self-damage, okay? All right, for the officers, remember we're talking about initiative. Initiative is really important on this ship. Depending on where your initiative lies, that is going to affect what skills and damage you steal from the enemy when they're confused. It will also affect when your heal goes off. It'll affect a lot of things, so having high initiative on this ship is a really big deal. A couple of the officers that you can use to give yourself initiative are going to be Eltharion. Eltharion is going to give crazy initiative. He's really powerful, and he's really one of my favorites. In addition to Eltharion, you can also use Striker. Striker is going to give you good power and initiative as well, and have good damage skills. For the engineering officer, there's a couple options here. My favorite option for countering Moonveil is going to be to use Sydney. Sydney has great initiative and anti-energy damage, allowing you to take less damage from the enemy Moonveil. Then you counter its healing in round 4, and you end up with having really great initiative that is fantastic, okay? And finally, let's talk about the support officer. I have multiple heroes, multiple support officers that have this evasion penetration, okay? But Striker is really great. Lightning's really great example of one of those. Having the ability to bypass enemy evasion is going to help you kill enemy ships, such as the Eclipse, such as the Paladin. Any of these enemy ships that have that evasion in the first couple rounds of the fight, this is going to help you do the work you need to do to get a W, okay? So those are the officers, folks. Those are the ship skills. Let's take a look and talk really quick about what we've got going on for actual unit composition here, and we'll be able to rock and roll, okay? Let's go ahead and pull up. That's the wrong report. Go back to Adobe. All right. Unit composition. Best in slot is going to be somewhere around 12 to 20 Cyclops, depending on what you're facing. Cyclops are going to taunt the enemy and allow the Cyclops to take all of the standard attack damage for the first couple rounds of the fight. Cyclops is my favorite taunting ship, even better than the Vanguard ships, okay? From there, you're going to want to run a ton of Harpies. Harpies are really amazing ships. They're one of the highest damage ships in the game. They have a double strike. They have a defense penetration ability, making them incredibly powerful. And the third ship, it's really up to you what you want to run. You may decide to run only 2 ships. I don't know. But I like running 3 ships to give myself more of a chance to do some healing. Put something tanky in here. I would either run Inquisitors. You could run another heavy ship if you wanted. You can kind of do some things and mess around and see what we got. But I do suggest for sure running this Cyclops and Harpy combo, because that's going to be your main damage dealers in this build. And then having the Inquisitors here is really great. The Inquisitors are going to do damage to whatever unit has the lowest defense. So if the enemy is running a Cyclops, the Inquisitors will do an auto attack, standard damage against the Cyclops, and then they'll trigger reduction, which activates another standard damage instance, and that is going to hit the Harpies. Now, in the first couple rounds in the fight, the Cyclops is going to absorb both of these hits, but later on in the fight, the Inquisitor will be able to hit a melee target while still penetrating the enemy Harpies and doing a lot of great damage there. So that way, if your Harpies are focused on killing the heavy units and your Inquisitors are able to shred the back line, you end up with a good balance of death and destruction across the board without letting enemy Harpies live for a long time to kill you. Okay? So that is the video, ladies and gentlemen. I guess here's a summary on the report in case you wanted to see what it looks like. The Moonveil did great damage, did great healing, but I was able to out-damage and out-heal it. And actually, as you can see here, it did almost 160,000 damage. I only took 99,000 damage. That means my confusion ability was able to redirect about 60,000 damage away from me. Okay? All right, folks, like and subscribe. I love you long time or longer than 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I got to go into work in about 10 seconds here. Randy, out.